Good afternoon. So, hi. I just moved. I just pretty much finished unpacking, and in this time that I've been moving, I have put painting on the back burner just for a minute so that I could really focus on moving and getting everything done. But things are done now, and I have actually like a space that is dedicated to creating. It's the sunroom. I have a sunroom. I'm so happy. But yeah, I'm ready to paint. I'm feeling good about painting, and that's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna talk about moon magic. I know in my last video I talked about the sun and how I work with the sun and I don't connect to the moon, but that was kind of like a year ago, and in that time I've learned a lot about the moon and moon magic and how you can connect to the moon even if you aren't somebody who necessarily works with the moon like that. Anyways, I'm gonna get on the floor and paint.
Our ancestors have worked with the moon for centuries to understand the seasons and times of harvest, and it's actually their knowledge that has been passed down to us that we still use today. This knowledge comes from indigenous and native cultures, so it's very important that we honor this sacred information and understand where it comes from.
Anywhere you want to send. Stop overpaying for shipping with stamps.com today. You can sign up with promo.
So all you have to do to work with the moon in this way is to go online, figure out what the moon phases are, and write them down in your calendar, and then be mindful of where the energy of the moon is at on that day. So there are 8 different phases of the moon within a full cycle, and a cycle is 28 days long. The new moon is the darkest phase of all the cycles. At this point, it's in shadow, and it reminds us of our own shadows and our own work that we have to do. It's a time of new beginnings, of planting seeds of intention, and getting prepared for what's to come.
Alright, so painting planets is a long and grueling process, and I don't want to use up all my storage by just getting the moon in. So I'm gonna pause and finish up the moon first. I don't know what you're seeing, to be honest. But now I'm just adding like the lighter parts. I don't know, there's like a million different shades of gray in the moon, fun fact, so.
And the next phase is the waxing crescent. This is when the moon begins to grow a little, and as the moon grows, so do your intentions. It can be seen as the fingernail in the sky, and this is a time period of planning, of sitting down and researching, collecting, and deciding what you're going to do to get your intentions to grow and manifest as the way you want them to. The next phase is the first quarter moon, and this is that first halfway point as we are shifting from the planning and moving into the action. It's a really great time to check in with yourself and how are you doing and how are you feeling, and just mentally preparing yourself for the work ahead.
We're gonna let this dry for a little bit, let it do its thing, and then we'll come back. And I just noticed that I need to put more black there, and so that's also what I'm gonna do. All right, I'm back, y'all. Been gone, had some lunch, did my makeup and my face on, made myself some boba because I'm cute and I deserve boba. It is dry, so now we're gonna add the little fun bits.
And this is followed by the waxing gibbous moon. So as the moon is on its way to completion, so are your intentions, but it's not enough just to want something. You have to work for it as well. And the waxing gibbous moon comes to help you put in that work, help you have the motivation and the ferocity to make your manifestations come true. And finally, we come to the full moon, the favorite phase of all the phases for most people, because it's so bright and it's so big and it's so powerful. It will aid you in your manifesting. And this is really a time to bunk down and decide that you are about this and this is what you want. Work for it. Put everything you have into it. Do a manifesting ritual where you envision yourself in that life of already having your manifestation, as well as take some time to do some divination, talk to the universe about what you're looking for, and seek inside yourself for what it is that's holding you back from already having that thing that you want. And now that the full moon has passed, the moon begins to retreat, getting smaller and smaller as the days go by. This moon encourages us to wind down as well, because we've worked so hard and we're deserving of some time off. And the waning gibbous moon specifically is about taking time to be grateful. You've made it through another cycle. You're working towards your manifestations. It is a time to just be so thankful that you had the ability to be here, to be present, and to work for what you want, to have something so amazing. And we're back at the quarter moon, but this is the last quarter moon. So we're coming to check in with ourselves once again. We're between a time of celebration and relaxation. And since it's after this manifestation, it's also a time of reflection. This day should be taken for self-care, whatever that's gonna mean for you, and to just enjoy yourself. The waning crescent moon is the final stage before the 28-day cycle is over, and every day the moon gets darker as it rests and prepares for the new cycle to come. And just like the moon has to rest, we have to too. The waning crescent moon is about relaxing. It's also about reflecting on these past 28 days. And more importantly, it is about resting, taking time for yourself.
I'll have to go back and put a finish on it, but I'm all out of finish right now. So that's it for now. But thank you so much for joining me and painting with me and hanging out. And I hope that you have the most wonderful of days. And yeah, bye.